This is my first time ever using a grooming mower. On my John Deere, I've got the 72-inch belly mower, and I thought that that was the only way to go. In fact, the belly mower was a criteria on the John Deere that I had to have, so I couldn't have gone higher than the 3 Series and still had the belly mower. I've been using that for a long time. My old Massey Ferguson has a belly mower. You can get one for the SOLIS H24, but you have to have the turf tires. So that's just a little bit of the reason why I'm not running one on here right now. But on this hilly country property, I always thought a grooming mower would do worse than a belly mower. And let me tell you what I found out so far. So far, what I've found out is this thing actually cuts way better than my belly mower. I have had zero scalping. I've been able to back up into some of the hillsides that I can't normally mow without the front tires touching and then my belly mower bottoming out. This thing has a float function on the top here that allows the whole thing to float as you're driving, and that has been a game changer. That plus the hydraulic top link, that makes it really easy for me to change or adjust the float. And then when I want to pick up the mower, I can shorten that top link. Whereas if it were a manual one and you had it all the way back in float mode where I am right now, it would be a huge pain. You wouldn't be able to get the whole mower up. So very cool. One other thing I didn't know about grooming mowers was how you adjusted the height. And on this particular one here, there are a series of washers. You can take the wheel down and then adjust based on how many of those washers that you want to have to control the cut of height. So it's a little bit of a setup, but you know, in most properties you're going to set it up one time and probably never mess with it again. At least in my case, that's definitely what I'm going to do. So I've just got done mowing my neighbor's yard, which is nothing but a hill. There's like almost zero flat land over there, and it did really well. I mowed their property 2 weeks ago with the belly mower on the John Deere, and I just had piles of grass that was getting kicked out through the side discharge, and it was a mess. And this thing with the 3 blades, now they are brand new blades, so I'm probably in better shape than what's on my belly mower, but they are really nice. I get a nice mulched cut and super impressed. So I'm going to show you some of the areas that I've been mowing. I'm going to throw the GoPro on here. We're going to go around and mow a little bit, and I have a hunch that this might actually solve some of my mowing around the pond issues. I'm thinking I might be able to back this into the pond just like you would a brush hog or something, but with that float mode, get a much better cut. So curious to see how that's going to go. Now, based on how far the back tires hang over, maybe I'm going to end up with a mess trying to go in and out of the pond. I don't know. We'll see about that. Something that I don't particularly, I don't want to say I don't like it, I'm just going to have to get used to it. With that belly mower being 62 inches, it hung out beyond my wheels, and I got really good at mowing close to trees and posts and power poles and stuff like that. There's no overhang here. So with my tires, I want to say I'm probably a little bit wider than 60-inch on this H24. So it takes a little bit of getting used to and what is the footprint. Plus turning, you're mowing from behind. Never thought about it with a brush hog because I'm out mowing in fields and it's not an issue. But here where I've got things I'm trying to avoid, you know, destroying or running over, it's going to take a little bit of practice. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it so far. I do have it hooked up using my PTO link, so that made it really quick on the PTO hookup. And I have changed out some of the grease zerks on here. A couple of them had broken. So I was able to just go on Amazon, pick up some new zerks, throw those on, hit it with the grease gun, good to go. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with this grooming mower, and I'm thinking everything that I thought I knew about grooming mowers, I'm throwing it out the door. So let's go check it out in action, let you see what it looks like. When I get done mowing around the pond, we'll come back and have a little bit of closure here and anything else that I figured out along the way. But check it out while we go here. got some seat time there. Showed you some of the mowing on the front yard. I mean, this whole place is hills. Luckily, my property is kind of terraced, so we have some flat land. But this thing in the float mode, it just works. It works really nice. The cut is really nice. This area that I cut right here around the pond, normally I have to just, with the belly mower, I have to come down once and just keep blowing everything to the fence. This time I was able to go back and forth, and it left a nice, fine, mulched up cut. I mean, I don't know that those are technically mulching blades, but it looks really good. And again, one of the differences here with this one in my 72-inch belly mower is that I get that extra, 6 inches or so out of the side of my wheels. So I'm able to catch maybe just a little bit more of the grass without getting too close to the pond. I've put my tractor in this pond 3-4 times, my original Massey Ferguson. Learned my lesson with it, haven't put the John Deere or the Solis in. So you notice a kind of a wide area of overgrowth along the pond. I thought maybe with this grooming mower I'd be able to just back in, and the first time I did it I didn't compensate for the float, so the wheels went right down into the mud. I've got a big muddy kind of track right here. I tried it a little bit later with the hydraulic top link. I was able to disable float basically by shortening that float pivot point that there is here and back down. And I don't think this is going to be the solution, so hate to say it, and it's not intended for that, but it just didn't seem to do what I was hoping. So still looking for a good solution for trimming around the pond. This is not it, but overall 2 thumbs up on this attachment. The Solis one is a nice, well-built piece of equipment. Everything is, got plenty of lube spots and zerks that you need to make sure that to keep your tires turning so you're not going to tear up the yard. But man, it floated along and did a fantastic job. So I think I said this before. My impression and my desire to use a grooming mower, I'd never had a desire before to buy one or have one. This thing's great. Nice even cut. It's very nice, so pretty pleased with that. I would say it's much better in areas where you have long stretches and you don't have to cut around a lot of stuff. I find that I'm probably gonna have to go back and do a little more trimming than I normally would, and I don't think I was mowing quite at the speed that I do with the belly mower, just kind of the agile nature of having the mower right where I can see it and on the tractor. So I'd say it took me a little bit longer to mow, but if I had wide open spots to mow and didn't have a lot of trees, this is really nice, and by far much less scalping, and actually no scalping. And I went over some really steep areas down at the corner of the yard, so very pleased with it. And more hours on the H24. It's continuing to deliver as I need it to, and I'm going to go ahead and get finished mowing around the pond here. I got a lot of work to do in the pond, as you can see behind me. It is an absolute mess. I haven't been down here. I haven't treated it in probably 6 weeks, and it needs to be treated about every 2 weeks. So I just kind of decided, heck with it. We did a couple vacations to the beach, and we really have probably only floated in the pond maybe 3 times this year. Normally we would do it every other weekend or every weekend. So a lot of work to go. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like this type of content, or if you're interested in the Solis H24 or any of the Solis tractors coming in the future, please hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.